All right, where we left off, you folks had just gotten yourselves safe from whatever crushing wreckage you guys were fleeing from. Having turned around, you've seen everyone in various states of irritation. Ishtin pulling soup up from the water, Athenos repeatedly checking his gun, and as you have turned around, the ship that was crashing is no longer in the sky. It's as if it wasn't there to begin with. There's no evidence apart from yourselves and the bikes that you landed, in heavy quotation marks. And as you bring yourselves up to the shore, you now find yourself in this small beach-like alcove on the shore. Very heavily kind of sanded, not much apart from driftwood and small stones being scattered around. You can see cliff faces to your left and your right. And then as you go up the beach, there is a small opening that is covered in a lot of flora and fauna that appears to head through and out of this little alcove.
Is there any apparent pathway in that area of flora and fauna?
It looks like if it were a pathway, it has not been used in a very long time.
I'm gonna go over to Athenos. Do you want some help with mending? I can help with your pistol.
No, just I'm good. I'm fine. I can do this myself.
Okay.
Please.
Well, if you don't need help with that, after you handle that, could you prestidigitation this? Holding up the book that we took from the ship.
Yeah. Just hold on, and
Good.
I'm gonna keep. It's probably dry by now, but just keep prestigitationing my gun over and over again.
Aaron stares at you impatiently, but waits.
The ink is running. Careful.
Okay, fine. Hold on, and then slowly, carefully put my gun back together.
I'm watching very intently as he does this.
As you're doing prestidigitation, Soup is just like watching you like super closely. He's just like
Everyone just staring at me. I mean, I'm used to it. I don't blame him.
You have two staring at you happily in curiosity, and one just like.
Hold on, I can feel you staring. Just give me a sec. And then once I have my gun back together, carefully holster it, and then prestidigitation the book.
There's been no serious damage to your firearm, so prestidigitation is going to be enough to just kind of get all the water out and make sure it's not clogged up. The book, you can go ahead and begin to kind of dry it, and you draw the water out of it.
Happy? You still need me for anything?
Thank you.
All right, then it's time for the yelling. Orin, what the hell was that? The man on the boat, he knew you. Who was he?
Yeah, of course he knew me. He hired me. I went to the dockmaster when I boarded the ship. He said, I said, I'm looking for employment. I don't have a lot of money. I need passage to Zenri. I want to work on a ship so I don't have to pay for it, right? And he says, okay, so that ship needs a cabin boy. I went to the ship. I talked to the big burly guy, say, oi, I'm Orin. Can I work for you? He says, yeah, sure, come on board. That was it.
So the burly guy was someone who worked on the ship, or was it the dockmaster? Which one are you saying?
No, the big scary guy.
The big scary guy.
So
I said, hi, I'm Orin. So there he goes. He knows me name. And then I said, can I work for you so I can get off at Zenri? And he says, sure.
And
Wait, Jotra.
Huh?
Weren't we talking to the person in charge of?
That's right. No, the ship's captain was a half orc, not that big person. Why did you get a job from them and not the person in charge of personnel?
I don't know enough about how ships work. Would there be two people in charge, or maybe perhaps one was above the other in ranking?
The captain and the bosun. This happens.
Yeah, I figured that, he wasn't the captain. I figured he was just the head of employment hiring. I don't know. The manager.
You hadn't seen him before this.
Human resources. That is the thing. That is the thing we have.
I do have one curiosity though. What about you is worth stealing everyone on a ship and then crashing that ship, or taking the lives of several people who are unassociated or just you've talked to? What did you do? Not to judge, but I just need to
Out
know.
of curiosity.
Fuck if I know, lad. I don't
Wait a
I
minute.
don't know what he wants. I've never seen that guy before. I've seen him once before, and that was it.
Well, you have a tree on your neck, so there's something interesting about you. What makes you interesting enough to
I mean,
blow up or disappear a ship?
I think all of us are a little interesting. Another question though.
That does not know. He needs to answer the question.
So
We are
a
all
cool
interesting,
tattoo.
but he's the one that the guy called out.
Ishtin, I just want to point out that the guy is clearly trying to kill Orin, so I don't think Orin's at fault. I think
Right,
Orin's a
but he
victim in
needs to
this.
answer the question. Let him
We should
answer
talk
the
to him
question.
without shouting.
There's nothing really important about me. I'm a monk.
What did
I'm a
you?
wanderer. I travel. I've spent most of my life just alone.
But a tattoo.
Yeah,
would-
I've got a cool tattoo. I'm part of the Brotherhood of the Crimson Wood,
Crimson wood.
the red tree.
A tree. But
I kind
that's
of opened
the-
my gi up a little bit, and you can see the branch goes down to my waist, like the trunk. Excuse me. And
It's
the
quite
branches reach
interesting.
up.
Your lifestyle and your tattoo are at odds. A tattoo is a permanent attachment to a singular thing in a singular place, especially one such as a tree that is planted in one place and never moves. But then you say you're a wandering part of this tree. What is it again?
Oh, the Brotherhood of the Crimson Wood.
Brotherhood of the Crimson Wood.
They're not wanderers.
They're not
I am.
wanderers, but so is it
I just-
generally accepted and allowed to wander away from the wood?
Fuck if I care.
So that's no, okay. And then, okay, so do you think there's anybody who might be after you because of that? Like,
Oh,
do they want your secrets or like some? Do you know? Like, did they let you in on cool things and you just wandered off?
oh, I know. The brothers, they're all stingy with their knowledge. They don't tell the low men on the totem pole shite.
But did they tell you anything?
Oh, I'm still only midway up the pole.
So high enough on the pole for some information. Maybe it's you don't have to tell me what it is, but I'm just trying to figure out something, because if you're being hunted, then not only to be on your toes. I like you, Orin. I would hate to see you crashed in another ship. But
Well,
if we
thanks,
can
I like
figure
you
out,
too.
oh, thank you. But if we can figure out why it happened, maybe we can fix it before it gets to the point where they need you dead. So I'm just thinking.
I know that Orin was the only one called out, and maybe this is a long shot, but did anyone else receive this? Holding up the letter that was left on the pillow.
Yes, I did as well. Seemed to come
Pull
from.
mine out.
Oh,
I left mine on the ship.
But you
but you
received
did
one.
receive one.
I
Yeah.
tucked it into my armor for you. Both
Oh.
of them. Yes.
Oh,
It seemed important.
oh. Okay. Thank you for that.
DM. Here you go.
What have
I
you
was gonna
said?
say,
It's my favorite thing. That
I
it's
put
just like,
it in a
"Wore my
special
armor."
pocket where it did not get so wet.
I was gonna say, yeah, that
You
was
know.
definitely the case.
I ain't
Yeah,
good
how's
at killing
your
people
cover?
alive, but I am good at killing them.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? You're going to kill Orin? Why would you
I
kill
don't know.
Orin?
Y'all
Soup?
believe him or what?
Calm down. Calm down.
No,
I don't know what this is about. No need to fire. It's fine. I'm on the same page as you.
I ain't talking to you. Y'all believe him? I don't believe him.
For now, I believe he's telling as much of the truth as he believes safe to tell us. I believe if he tells us more, or it would lead to danger. He doesn't seem like the kind of person who would recklessly endanger others. He seems more of a wandering, want to walk his own path sort of fellow. But I think that's what kind of would explain where he's coming from. The murder, though, that would upset me quite greatly, and I would not be on board for murdering somebody.
Soup, bide your time. If he does something, both of us are quick.
And that's also true. Sorry, Orin.
And
Oh,
I have
see?
your back.
You understood what he said. Okay, all right, good.
I don't know that I understood what he said, but I have your back, is my point.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Sometimes I can't understand anything that comes out of his mouth.
I'm gonna go do something.
And he starts like going to make a fire.
Wait, Asup, did you get the letter too?
He holds it up
Cool.
as he walks away.
Just over your head.
Here, may I take it and read it?
He
Yeah.
flicks it to you like a card.
All right.
Boy, this lot. That's the second time I've had a weapon pulled on me.
Ishtar,
And the
you gonna go
third!
ahead
No,
and-
I'm just kidding.
You gonna go ahead and open it up?
I'm going to compare his letter to mine.
Yours, Ishtin, and Soup's is identical. The same writing, the same tone, and the same signature, with that complicated A.
For people watching,
Are
what does it say? Yeah.
I need to get the notes.
And then
I knew I was going to be asked a question I wouldn't be able to answer.
well, and it hasn't been set in stream yet, so.
I'll also,
yeah.
Also, start gathering the other ones and bring them over to you as you're looking at them and start breaking them open and then see
Yeah,
what we
holding
can
them
see.
all next to each other. Taking a look.
Do they all have like a seal, like the same like wax seal or anything like that? Okay.
Yeah. So all of the letters were sealed with the same. It was a pretty plain kind of wax seal. There's no real regalia or anything like that involved. And then it's just the letter. And I'm going through my notes to try and find what I put there, and I can't take a look right now because, of course,
That's the moment where you make it exactly worded for a clue, and you're like, I can't improvise this part. I have to know exactly what they say. That's brutal.
So it is. I've taken you under my wing, and then
Let's see how you fly.
let's see how you fly. And Ishtin, as you're taking a look at both letters, they are almost eerily identical.
Does it look like separate handwriting, like someone rewrote it, or like identical in like a identical way? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. They're definitely handwritten.
Okay.
They haven't been like copy pasted.
Okay.
But it's kind of only your kind of the sharpness of your eyes that are able to pick it up. To some folks, it would look identical.
Okay.
There are very slight kind of changes in where the pen runs across the
And
paper.
everyone's is the same.
So far, I've only compared the two.
Yeah.
I bring over I kind of grab the other ones from everybody and bring them over and kind of set them over and look and see if they're
Yeah,
exactly the same as well.
Give Jotra mine.
Thank you.
And Ishtin, as you're holding the two, and you can see Jotra piling them all up open. The two in your hand are identical to everyone's, apart from one person's.
And that person is.
Athenos's is slightly different. The wording is changed ever so slightly. Instead of being taken under the wing, Athenos's specifically says that he is under his wing. And instead of let's see how you fly, it's closer towards a now fly kind of thing. It's the context is just slightly different.
Athanos, yours is different, and it seems that, if I can conjecture, that whoever you've worked with in the past still considers you bound to them somehow. But look at the fly thing. Then they knocked the ship out of the sky. So, what if they met the fly as a clue of what was going to happen? Like they could see how we were going to either maybe fly the ship or how we were going to escape that situation as like maybe a test and a warning, but not clear enough that we were supposed to be clever enough to figure it out. we didn't figure it out, but we still flew. But yours is different.
Jojo, I have no clue what you're
What?
saying right now.
Yes, what?
No, because yours is different. Whoever wrote these notes, taken under the wing is generally a term for when you take somebody into your employ or your care. But you are already under the wing. So is there any like organizations or anything that you've been a part of that in the past that might?
I mean, I've
Do
worked
you
for
know
many
this guy? I think he's saying, do you know this guy?
Well, not.
I've never met that dude. I don't know.
What about the A? It's
I never worked
similar.
with A.
What about the seal? Does the seal look like it?
Do I
Well,
recognize?
the whole thing on the ship, wasn't that the nest? You said you'd worked with them before.
Yeah, the nest. But A, as far as I know, is a separate organization. What DM is it?
You have probably received a contract here and there that has been signed by this A directly. But the majority would have just been signed off by either the contractor, or if they were trying to remain anonymous, maybe a pseudonym, or sometimes just marked as the nest, because a lot of people still don't think that the nest is a real thing.
In that case, then yes, I have worked with 4A before, but that was many years ago, and it wasn't anything really insane or crazy or...
Have you ever met him face to face?
No, I don't think anyone has, and I don't even know if it's a him. I just think of them as a group.
So, the next part of the sentence is, let's see how you fly. But for yours is, feel free to fly. That gives the impression that you you're optional to whatever they want us to do or what their goals might be.
Well, I'm just great at flying, and they just know I will.
What do you mean? Like you've flown before? What do you mean flying? Like do you have can you fly? Other
Not
than I mean
fly.
like the ship and stuff.
I think they just meant the ship. Yes, I can fly ships very well.
Very weird. I wonder. I don't know what we have in.
Soup. You've kind of made this what you could make of a camp with the sections of driftwood that are kind of scattered across the beach.
I feel like podcast needs to know that he's been there doing all of it and like blowing on the fire on the
Yeah,
like, this whole
yeah,
time
yeah.
he's been talking because that's friggin' awesome.
You can hear Soup in the background. Just you hear the occasional scrape of wood and using like your claws to kind of just peel away some of the damper wood and get to some of the nicer stuff. You've gone ahead and built what actually constitutes as quite a decent little campfire here. Along with a couple of some of the heavier driftwood pieces you've used to create like these little seats, and you've made them like size specific. You've done a really good job. Yeah, some of those books you've read in the past have really come in handy here. As you've gone ahead and you're going through this, the kind of innate humming that's been present since this whole event has begun to just softly die down. And as it does so, and you're having this discussion, you're comparing the notes, you're trying to figure things out, this hum fades, and for the casters among you, this dull kind of feeling that you've been feeling while on the ship itself has begun now to resurface.
That headache again.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Oh. That's...
Where could it be coming from? It's the only constant between and
Come from one of you.
that's what I also would have concluded. Is there anyone who would know something about this that can maybe help us clear our heads, or at least maybe it's something I can help with? I might be able to figure out a way to disable it if it's a mechanical thing, or I can take a look at it, or it just sucks. Don't like it. Nobody?
Is this the magical buzzing that y'all were feeling before?
Yes, yeah.
Boy, I'm glad I don't feel that shape.
I think the last time we heard it, the ship fell from the sky. So I kind of think we should probably get moving.
No, but that's not it. No, because we felt it days and stuff before that as well. If it was associated with
Before
a
that-
disenchantment of some sort, it would be a consistent and located on a certain thing. We were trying to find somebody in the parlor. Somebody even mentioned a marked person. So it could be... something of that nature. I don't want to... just want to help. If
You should know it is not something that can be helped.
How do you know?
Because when the magic cannon does what they do it well.
What did they do?
I mean, everyone knows if you get marks, you can't undo it.
Well, they just haven't figured it out then yet. What did they do? It seems like we've all been kind of lumped together and that some force is going to keep pushing us together and pushing us onwards and finding some task to complete. So I just would like to
Maybe
be as helpful as possible. And not only that, I'm... Yes,
If-
sorry.
being. I can't say that I know anything about it, but it's not an easy thing, from what I understand, and I feel that perhaps that should come out in its own time.
Well, but this would be a very good time for that because there's, unfortunately, we need to know the most about each other that is safe to share at this point, and I feel like if there's going to be something that will be interfering with magical abilities or even the ability to think, which is key to what I do, this would be a good time to figure out how to get rid of it, and if there's something...
Rocha, I'm sorry, but there is no getting rid of it.
Okay, well, maybe not getting rid of it, then maybe we can appeal it or figure out something else to do, or...
That is not
No.
how this works.
It's not.
That is
Sorry.
not how it works.
Whatever
Maybe-
it is, if it is someone that's marked, it can't be undone.
Why did they do it? Like, what can we do to... There's got to be something.
Can someone educate this one about how it works, about how the magic cannon works and why they make these choices?
Jocha,
They've-
I'm assuming you might know a little bit about this, but when someone commits a crime,
Mm-hmm.
the Magicanum, and depending on how bad the crime is,
Mm-hmm.
the Magicanum can strip people of their magical abilities
Yes, they're
and mark them.
bureaucratic. And why would you believe them if they say it can't be done? If you've done something against them, why would you just take their word for it? There
Because
can
this,
be
this
other
is not
ways.
the first time people have tried to undo it.
Yeah, well, we live in
And
we have.
all I'm
flunked- we
saying
have-
is that even if we could undo it, we can't undo it at this beach. We
No, I don't
can't
wanna
do until
undo
we
it
get
at
back
the
to
beach, but
civilization.
I just
So
want to know.
we can figure out who it is, when it is,
How do you
whoever
know?
it is.
How do you know this is a person who deserves to have it removed?
If it's one of you, I assume it doesn't. I've dealt with the magic cannon before. They're bureaucracy, and they're not. I don't trust them. They
And yet
just-
you trust us, and you
Yes.
have known us for almost no time at all.
But I know you. You're not a faceless entity behind paperwork, hiding behind the they, behind the they, behind the they who tell you what to do.
I have seen their faces. Some of them.
Exactly. No one's seen the person who's actually making the choice. You're always told that, oh, just... sorry.
But I know the one who does this. And that is enough.
I think the difference here, though, is that Ishton, you're from gesturing to the ocean. You're from there. You could have just dove and taken off. You didn't need. You helped Soup. you could have left him to die.
Athenos is my huntmate, and so I came here to help him. And we are heading towards the city, so being here on the coast gets us closer to there.
Why were you going to the city if there's nothing to be done?
About what?
No,
I think
nothing.
all I'm trying to say is that you show great loyalty to your huntmate, to Athenos. And I think that says a lot about your character.
All right, if you
All
say
right.
so.
So, there's clearly secrets, and the only way to be fair is to trade them. And I will start. I can trade secrets for secrets, because there's no other. It's the best way to build a bridge. Plus, I mean, okay. So, I think I know why I got my letter, and I think I know that I might be marked, but not fully marked yet because I did something bad. So I was part of the Construction Wizards Guild in the City of Mirrors, and everything was great. It was fabulous. I got to go on expeditions and find out different new materials and minerals and use those things. And then I... That sounds terrible. Stupid. I found there's an opal, and I am sure that there's some magical thing to it, some immense secret it might be hiding, and they told me it was nothing and to file it away and that I didn't know what I was talking about. So I purchased a replacement, swapped it out, and took the real one, and then went off on adventuring so they never look at it and find me again.
I know,
You
waiting
guys don't
for.
look...
So what's the bad part here? Is there something? Did you kill someone?
No, I stole from a body who could... Well, I ruined my whole career.
You
know,
are brave. You are telling us that you are brave.
No, it's not. Well, but like, I gave up a lot of... Do you know the potential of learning and teaching that because I couldn't... I don't have a good explanation. It was... But it had to be done. There's something to it.
What does it do?
I don't know.
What were they trying to hide? Or do you not know?
I don't know yet. That's what I'm gonna find out, hopefully.
Jotra, you are brave. This is not a thing to be ashamed of. This is a story of courage and conviction.
Has it...
You swapped it with a decoy.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever too, lad.
Well, I mean, I had to. There was no other choice. They would have noticed if it was gone. Is it worth any of your secrets? He kind of looks over at Ishton specifically and then looks away.
What secret do you want of me? Short one.
Just why you're traveling.
I think you know the answer to that.
I can think of many, 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 many different reasons why someone can travel the road. To
But
assume
you
one...
are smarter than that. You are smarter than that.
To assume one would put
Must
me...
have guessed. All but two of us have had headaches, yes? All
Yes.
but two.
And only one is traveling with someone vehemently defending the process, and he can still clearly use magic.
So you know the answer to your question.
But I don't know why, and why you're traveling. That doesn't... There's many reasons for that could be perfectly fine and valid, but if you truly believe there's no hope, then why are you traveling? And I don't think it's just for Athenos. He seems very happy on any ship.
To undo what cannot be undone.
And you
That's
believe there's
why
hope.
what they did, it is different for me. For someone who learns from a book, they take away the knowledge because they have decided that is your crime and your punishment. But for me, I was born to have the ability to use magic, and they stole that from my body, like taking the blood out of my veins. So I will undo what they did. Because they did not know what they were doing. They were foolish and arrogant. I will undo what cannot be undone.
For your return of your magic?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
So, I was
can't
actually.
imagine what that had to have been.
No, you can't.
Jojo's gonna go walk over, and he's going to hug your leg, and he's gonna look up. I'm so sorry. I cannot imagine the restriction. And then he realizes what he's doing because he was just so involved in the
She starts to pat his head like very awkwardly. Oh, it is okay. It is okay. It is okay.
Mom used to pat my head like that when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was sweet.
Eridan's
not-
got a smile on her face.
Not used to that kind of thing. Yes. It
You're very
was
good at
not.
Sorry. He wanders back.
Well, thank you. You do not know why. You do not know whether I deserved it, but I don't think anyone could deserve what that was like. No one.
I don't think having a project. I don't think anyone should have something like that ripped away from them.
I don't even have access. My magic is through. And he kind of gestures to his his gauntlets and the hummingbird. It's through gadgets, and it is only a peek into the veil of what it could be. To take that away, there's no
I
real.
myself had to study.
Ishton, you feel like a little claw poke at your knee, and Soup just holds up this like little kind of semi-soggy piece of food, like just a little piece of meat. He just goes,
I ain't gonna hug you or nothing or give you no secrets, but thanks for saving me earlier. There you go.
You are welcome. She eats the meat.
Okay, so
walks away.
marked. And he kind of just a wide marked. We know Orin's wanted to be what they want. Orin dead. Athenos might not be marked because he seems to have the option. And then, who am I missing? Soup is gone back to the fire. Okay.
I don't think Soup is a magic user.
No, but the mark from the letters, the things we've done against. I mean, we did something that could be considered bad. But what else? Did anybody else know why they might have received a letter, or might they may be marked?
Athenos, well, we trust them now. They're already half in, but it is your choice.
Kind of have to now, don't I?
I mean, he already guessed pretty much half of it when we were on the ship, so you might as well.
Yeah.
I'm small, so I
He's
can get
very
through half doors.
He's a little too smart, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but Jotra in a good way, in a good way.
What
It's
they all say.
just a little awkward sometimes because you can say it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
She'll come back
I-
over and pat him on the head again.
And you feel Ashtalora rub against your legs.
Right, okay, all right, I'm not.
Yeah, so I pull my sleeves up, and on my wrists, there's basically essentially what looks like scarred skin. Looks like he got burned all around his wrist, and it's a branding of a Ouroboros. So the snake eating its own tail that like wraps around his either wrists. Yeah, so I'm a warlock, as I'm assuming you all guessed. And the favor I asked, which I mentioned earlier, my patron is a giant snake, sort of. Yeah, that thing that hit you, that tentacle that came out of the crack in space, it wasn't a tentacle, it was a snake's tail. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to do that much damage, by the way. It was funny. I would do it again if got the chance, but I am sorry.
That's okay. If it hadn't hit that one spot, I would have been fine.
I'm just going to lean over to Athenos and say, you know, handsome one, when you say it was funny and I would do it again, you're not really sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I need to. Okay, sorry. I meant I'm not sorry. I would do it again.
That's more honest. More honest.
It's okay. I'm just mad my stones missed.
Yeah, so I guess I'm marked in that way. I didn't really ask to become a warlock, kind of. You know when you get offered something, but if you say no, you die? Yeah. So I kind of didn't want to die, so I said yes.
A choice that is not a choice.
Do I recognize the Ouroboros symbol?
Go ahead and roll. I guess history would probably be the most accurate one here.
And do you want me to make a new one? As opposed to the one last time?
Yeah, because why not?
It's another natural 20, I'm not even kidding! Look at this shit!
The dice itself wants to keep the narrative.
I cannot make it up! It was a natural 20! Are you
The
kidding
dice
me?
itself
amazing.
wants to keep the narrative.
Holy shit!
I love you so much.
Okay,
So-
sorry.
Reaction.
When Vaka was created, and even now, there aren't really gods in Vaka necessarily, as much as there are primordial energies that control the planet and how it works. Certain primordial energies are definitive. They are definitely there. They are definitely how the world works. And as such, people often either pull their energy from there, or they can see their gods through their own perceptions. There are certain primordial energies which are still rumors and unknown, ideas and concepts, and what Athenos speaks of harks back to a few very minor rumors that have been scattered across hundreds of years of history, but there is nothing definitive that comes into your mind, just myths and legends.
The Arab Aras. Is that what you said?
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Okay. Isn't that... I think I've... Something about a primordial? Don't... It seems like... But that's very, very, very old. Thank you for sharing. What spell was that, by the way, that snake tail that hit me?
It wasn't a spell. I literally just called my patron. Yeah, I don't know if it is that was my patron or like a friend or a servant or subordinate of the patron, but yeah. Now that I think about it, probably just like a subordinate of the patron. I kind of saw it, and it was a lot larger than what came out of that crack. So,
How large?
Very.
And
So-
for something as powerful as this, what you see may not even be all that it is. Yes,
Like skimming
Yeah.
the surface of the ocean?
indeed. Good metaphor, I like it. See, you are smart.
Just gestures to the ocean, I mean it.
She's very smart.
Eridan, you wanna share? It's okay. He goes over and he he picks up your kind of hands her to you so you have something to hold in your arms while you think and talk. And then he
Hold my cat.
at that point he'll pull the little disc out of his backpack and then put it into his palm and then slap it so it starts to play the music again, so it's kind of a comforting place for Eridan.
Wow. That is impressive. I'm sorry. Abigail.
Pretty cool, right? Oh. Well, she looks very uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. Her eyes are just on the ground, not looking at anyone. Well, if I had done something wrong, or if I'm wanted, or anything like that, I would not know.
Wouldn't you be the one to know?
I woke up a month ago in a shack. Farmer family. I didn't know my name. Don't know where I came from. The only thing I had to tell me anything about who I was, reach in my satchel and I pull out my spell book with it says Eridan on the front and Infernal. This is the only thing that was on me. And all I had was my name.
Were you hit on the head?
I don't think she would know.
Well, it would hurt. So you would know because it would hurt. And there
It
would
depends
be like a bruise and a lump.
If you're in a coma for long enough, you can lose even those physical signs of it. But it sounds more like a magical wipening of the brain, because even you'd have some sort of recollection of something if it was a regular physical injury.
Maybe, but not necessarily. I have seen very bad injuries to the head. So I am just asking, was your head hurting?
Not when I woke up. They said I'd been out for a while. They found me in the middle of a field.
Crater, did you fall from the sky?
I don't know.
Maybe
They
well, we
told me that she gestures to her prosthetic. They said that this had looked rather fresh, but I don't know what that means.
So you did not have your wing or your arm at the time?
They found me with it, but it looked not...
I see.
So you think whoever wiped your mind gave you that arm and that wing?
Maybe. I don't know anything, honestly.
What if you made a deal as well, like Athenos did? Maybe you made a deal with like a celestial or a background primordial or something, and trade for your wonderful gift. Maybe beforehand you didn't have them, and now you were gifted them or something of that nature. It doesn't have to be a dark, scary thing, and maybe we're working on one impossible task. Why not make it two? Yours has a book though that we can look up, and I will work on that cipher day and night until we can glean something from it.
You are very optimistic, like very just positive all the time, like sunshine and rainbows and unicorns just constantly out of your mouth, yes?
I give him like a day, maybe a day and a half.
There is no logical end to not having hope. Without hope, you don't get to pursue anything to its actual logical end. It just gives you an excuse to give up, even when it's logical
But for
too.
some of us it is like hope, and for some of it is like hope. And you
Yes,
are
but-
hope.
It's hard to it's hard to believe in a small amount of hope. Because
Don't worry, lad. And I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, it's endearing.
oh, thank God.
Jotra, traveling with you has made my predicament easier. In your temperament.
Because of you, I was able to get on an airship when I couldn't even look at the sky when we met. It's been a mutual thing. Also, thank you for helping with the people beating the crap out of me. That was very nice and helpful.
I can't believe it. I'm still mad about that. Still mad.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing. But, they're gone, and I don't have to deal with them anymore, so, see? Things get better. You just gotta, no matter how much time there is, they'll get better if you find how to make them better. That's why big hope brain. Okay. Soup, are you done with the camp?
Soup just walks up and looks at Ishton and goes,
You can fish with that thing, right? That big.
Yes,
thing
of
you got.
course. Of course I do.
I'm hoping for some dinner.
I will get you dinner.
Oh,
I will. What do we all want? Fish, crab?
Can you find crab? I love crab. Was so
Yes.
good.
Oh,
I've never-
see, it was very good. But we have no butter, so it won't be quite as good for you. But I will find it. Or lobster. You know,
It is
anything on the menu from the sea.
I'm not picky.
I trust your judgment.
I think it's whatever you can find.
Aridin, you may regret that.
Oh no. Get her something nice.
All right,
Please.
I will get you all something nice. And take a break from all the positivity. And she
Oh,
starts
sorry.
drinking water.
Ishton,
Oh,
if you
sorry.
if you really want to laugh, I can help you find fish. If you want to laugh,
What?
I'm.
I think she's saying that she's
thinking
terrible at catching fish, so you can laugh at her
Oh,
when she
oh.
fails.
Can you breathe under the... No, okay, so I would just be the one doing the laughing for sure, and you would be doing the drowning, so I think I'm just going to go.
that sounds good. Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Ishton.
She
Hey,
dives into the waves.
Thank you, ma'am.
Aridin, right?
Yes,
You still know them spells in that book?
I do.
Think you could teach me some?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
I'm trying to
And
learn
I'll-
about the magics.
That was out of character squealing.
Sometimes you gotta squeal.
I do that a lot. It's fine. I'll sit around the fire and Ashdalora's rubbing on Soup's legs back and forth, flapping her little wings because she's cute. And yeah, I'll like go through like spell stuff.
Awesome. That's what you guys can be doing at the fire there. Ishtin, you have fished in far worse waters. This is a breeze for you. You have noticed that the wildlife is generally avoiding becoming anywhere near the shore due to, the general clamor and wreckage of a certain group of bikes.
That would
But
make sense.
you go ahead and head outwards, and it takes a little while, but you can go ahead and get a nice collection of fish and crab, and there's actually even a few kind of like not quite oysters, but they're kind of oysters. You can go ahead and crack them open and grab some meat from there as well.
Nice. I
yeah.
pull out like a net from my armor, and I use that to take them back with me.
Awesome.
And I come in with it like over my shoulder and dripping down my back, and still
You've-
swimming.
You've got enough for a little banquet. You've done a damn good job. Yeah, so what's everybody else doing? So we're all settling down by the fire.
Ooh. I'm definitely a good distance away. Checking my gun again. Just repeatedly breaking it apart, putting it back together again, checking each individual piece, making sure everything's okay.
Your gun is fine. However, as you're beginning to check over the weapon, you can feel your wrists begin to heat up. At first, a warmth, and then it becomes uncomfortable, and then it becomes painful as they just heat up more and more and more.
Oh, I'm going to try and I want to make sure no one's watching me first.
When you look over to the fire, I'm sitting with Soup, and I'm doing minor illusion in my hand.
Jotra is completely obsessed with the book, and he's kind of called Orin over, and he's trying to explain what he thinks he might be seeing. And he's like, "Have you come across any of this when you're at your time at the monastery? Do you recognize any of these symbols?" And he's just
What was the language that it is again?
That's in
Celestial.
Celestial.
Celestial. God, where my language is.
Soup is just watching you like super closely. Like every movement that you're doing, he's like, and like trying to copy you.
I'm so sorry, but I have to say, super closely.
Oh,
Ah.
God.
I'm glad you did
Love
it
it.
because it was burning a hole in my brain.
So you guys are over practicing magic.
No.
Jotra is taking Oren through this scenario, and Ishton, you are currently fishing. So no one is watching you currently after this.
Then I'm going to, as casually as possible, walk to the waters and just like stick my wrist in the water because it's fucking killing me. It's very painful.
And as you're, yeah, Ishton's fishing.
It also had to be said.
As
Good
you
old
put
fishing
your, as you put your wrists in, the water kind of begins to cool across it, and then you can feel yourself being ever so slightly tugged towards the water.
Oh, I'm gonna try and pull away. Yeah.
And this voice begins to echo in your head of just, "You speak too much."
Oh, fuck.
And as this voice rings through, your wrists begin to burn as you can feel yourself suddenly pulled hard towards the ground.
Oh,
Watch yourself.
you're okay. I'm assuming you're the thing that saved me.
There's a low, guttural growl as suddenly your wrists kind of, as you're pulling back, they kind of ping back to you. You go ahead and kind of take a look. Doesn't appear to be any lasting damage as your wrists begin to cool. You just hear, "In good time."
I back away from the water and try to casually join the group again. This time a little bit closer than I was before.
You can go ahead and wander over, and this would be about the time that Ishton comes back. And as Ishton comes out of the water, you do notice just the tail end of Athenos' walk away from the water to the rest of the group.
Can I tell that he's upset?
I don't know, Athenos, how well are you hiding it?
Okay, like
From your hunt mate, how well are you hiding it?
I know.
I would say you'd be able to fool everyone else. The problem is, would you be able to fool Ishton?
Yes,
That's
I mean,
what I'm.
that's why I think I might have to make it to a roll because there is still a chance I could, but for everyone else, it's definitely because tricked them,
Okay.
but there's a chance you could.
So perception, if you want to see just whether he's around, or insight, if you directly want to see his emotions.
Definitely insight.
Okay.
Definitely.
Whoop. Oh boy. Oh no. A 12.
A 4.
Oh.
Oh shit.
You get the underlying feeling that there's something up, but you can't quite. It's just a kind of he seems a little. That's a bit weird.
One of the crab kind of crawled up the net a little bit and got to where my neck is, and just right when I was starting, something's wrong with that. Ow! So,
Yeah, yeah. You can go ahead and gather around the fire, and as you're beginning to settle down, you can go ahead and get a quick meal in. I don't know who's going to be the best cook for this kind of stuff here. But,
I eat mine
it would-
raw, so you
Yeah,
know,
Ishton's eating raw,
right.
so it's definitely not
it's
Ishton.
still moving around.
But-
a
I
bit.
mean, I could technically eat raw because like I'm immune to poison, so like I can't get food poisoning.
Smart. Can I do a nature check to see how well I can things can be cooked before they're gonna be, bad for us?
Give it a go. Why not?
All right. That is a 21.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and you can cook through enough to know when it's healthy, essentially. It's for some of you, it's not going to be particularly great because fresh seafood. Some people love it, some people hate it. It depends on your opinion. But as you're going ahead and settling down, you can go ahead and share this meal. And as you guys are kind of discussing, there's a sudden help that echoes from towards the pathway where all of this foliage and flora and fauna has begun to overgrow. And that'll be the end of the session.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Awesome.
so good.
No!